Hi there, I'm Dr. Bill White again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm going to talk to you again about palatal separation. It's been such a wonderful tool in orthodontics, and I have enjoyed the use of it through the years. It has done such marvelous things. It's not just straightening the teeth, it's opening the airway and getting a person to breathe through the nose instead of the mouth. It changes the whole facial makeup. It also helps apply this nitrogen oxide, just NO, and that helps the breathing, the veins, softens them, even helps the heart. So they tell me it's a marvelous thing, and you create your own nitrogen oxide in your sinuses. It's a marvelous thing happens in the body. But anyway, orthodontics has been a wonderful thing that I've enjoyed so much during my lifetime and working with people. And this case right here is one that was very dear to me. We took this young lady and really changed her life and the palatal separation was one of the real wonderful tools that we were able to use to help this case along. So I'm going to get started here. I've got a lot of pictures on it, but I'm going to run through them pretty fast. If somebody's interested in how we did it, they can follow it real close, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. So here is the young lady, and the teeth are in bad shape, and she still could get a smile out of her, but this is the way her teeth looked, and I mean, it's hard to get in there to brush this, but we take a palatal separator down and go down through here and open this up wide, and as we open it wide, we bring this together, and it kind of brings this back. It kind of retrudes this, but we went ahead and took some teeth out on her just to make sure we had room, and I didn't dish her face in, but it's just watch the case go. Let me get back over here again. I should have erased that. Okay, here she is, and she looks pretty sad that way, and she looks so bad that she, I'm sure, had real disappointing relationships with people because of the appearance, and so we took these models and all this, and she had a tooth out on the side, and we had to come in and put an arch wire in here that had that spring like we use. You know, you drop down and you go around, and then you come out, and actually you have this go this way, but you bend it up here, and that spring tends to pick this part up as it pushes down on these teeth right here, and it levels this out, and then that leveling that out levels the other part out up here. You could actually put something like that right in here that would go, and you would raise it up, and it would tend to pick this up. It push this down, and this is doing the same thing. It levels this out. Now we just used a regular, well, we don't even get into that till after we separate the palate. Alright, looking on this side, it's got that same excessive curvus fee in here. Now we could come in and put these intruding arches and bring this down, you know, and you'd pick this up some back here in the same way as coming across here. If you want to put that bend in there, I think we just used an arch wire after we you know, separated the palate and everything. Okay, here it is in 1974, and the same thing. It's not old at all, but you can watch, and it will go through this case. Now, as we level this out, it's going to open this gap and this tooth we can bring up into this space right there. See? Okay. Now, this will spread. We'll crack this apart enough to get some space, but actually we'll widen this out, and I'm going to reduce the teeth back here. And I don't know whether she's got wisdom teeth or not. I think if we take teeth, though, I like to save the wisdom teeth if it's possible. And here we go. You can get a pretty good look at the arches and how it developed like this. I don't know. Sometimes I'd be worried about this being an ankylosed tooth, and it may have been, and we're going to extract in here. And so let's see what we do. It's been so long ago that I've forgotten some of the details of the case, but it's always been a nice thing to go back and look at what has happened in these cases. Okay, I've got a lot of pictures in here. Alright, we did that. We went back and took the second bicuspids in this case, and up above I think we took the first bicuspids. So it lets us bring this back in from up above, and back here this tooth may have been, or I was afraid maybe it was ankylosed, and so we'll eliminate it. Now she's got 4 wisdom teeth. Let's hope we put them to use when we take this out. So anyway, we banded all the 3 teeth that we're going to use in this palatal separation and joined this together back here. Now we put the separator in after we had taken the teeth out. So I put the palatal separator onto the cuspid teeth, and we don't normally do that. Somebody called me today from some foreign country wanting to know how we got the cuspids back. You have to look at this case and see we actually took the cuspids into the palatal separator. We extracted the first bis and then put the palatal separator in. So down on the bottom we took out teeth that we thought one of them could be an ankylosed tooth, and we could have dealt with it if we'd have had to. Now this is before we got into brackets and we had to put bands on the teeth. So we're starting out here. It's 1973, and I started in nothing but orthodontics in 1970, and it's about 1974 we got started with brackets, and we used bands again for another year or two. We used the combination of them. So here we go, and the tongue is sitting in there, and that's a kind of a backward picture there. We don't see the stuff properly. That's a mirror shot, you see. We put a mirror in the bottom arch and shoot down on it and get a direct picture like you had a camera right up there in the mouth, and that shows you pretty close what we were doing there. Alright, here we are. We went in, and that's some of our first spring, for putting pressure on these teeth, and we wanted to flatten this out, real quick. So we got a little flexible wire going into that corner. And it's a woven wire, and we put that on the front of the mouth as we had the palatal separator in there, you see. And so this is just hooked to the palatal separator right here, and this goes around and is push it apart a little bit here, and so we'll have some pressure in there. Now let's see as we go through this. Is 23 of 73. Now this is 12/23 of 73, and we've got this thing already lined up in there. It didn't take, that was 7 and 12 right here, so it's about 5 months, and we had this front of her mouth lined up right here. Now this is going to take a little longer, raising this up and leveling that out, you see. But we've got everything banded, and those are twin brackets there. Here's 12 of 73 now. It's getting pretty straight on this side. You see this little loop right here, how this goes. Now this would be going here if you raised it up. So it's picking these teeth up, you see, as it tends to level that out. And then you erase that, and you have to look pretty close right here. But you come out here, and you get right at the middle part of this, the low part, and have the center of that. Then you go down and make a circle like that, and then this would go off here. You can actually activate it more if you want to. And come around to this side, you raise it up and hook it here. It pushes this up right in here. It pushes this down, and it pushes this down. And it's letting this arch out. Now that is a neat trick to learn how to bend that little circle there. It is not, you don't come out like this. You come out, make a 90-degree bend. Now this has to be where the thing changes at this point, you see. And so at that point is the center of this. You come out on this side, bend it down, make a loop like that, and then you can activate this thing as much as you want to. But if you're using a round wire, don't activate it too much. You prefer, nowadays, we would put a stainless steel rectangular wire in here, see, and do that. And then you raise this up. And it has a constant pressure pushing this up, this down, and this down back here. And it will level that thing out really quite fast. But here's 12 of 73, and we're in good shape. On the other side, you see the same thing right here. This comes around like that, and it will go like that. We raise it up, pushes that down, raises this up, pushes this down, and it flattens this. As this goes down, she closes her mouth together in there, and this is leveling out of top. Looks like we've got a little bit of that. Now you can do a little bit with just an omega, but I don't think we put that, well, I'm not sure. No, that's omega. We just tied back against it to close that space. Okay, here's the palatal separator now. So we come in and cut the cuspid free of that. You can see the solder on it still. And now we'll come in with the arch wire coming all the way around together. And we've got just the palatal separator on these two teeth and push it on the second molar up above right there. And we cut the cuspid off, and now we'll be dealing with this out here. We'll bring this space together. So we show you pretty well how to do this. Now we took this tooth out that was, we felt like was ankylosed when we started. So we've got it And as this went down and this went down, it opened this space. You see it's wider now than it was. Now we'll start pulling this back together again. Now this on this side is gone back together some, so this leveled out quicker than this side over here. Of course, this was V'd out a lot worse in this area right there. So now here it is, 5 of 74, and we've got this almost leveled out. You see that? But we're still using that. So this spring you put at the center, like you're going to do that. You put the spring right here, and that brings this down, and this up. You see, right there. So it's pretty well leveled that out, and it's coming along real good. And while we're doing this, we'll broaden the arch form in here as we go through this. And this is leveling out. That this one is almost done, but you just leave that in there and tie it back from that, and close the space on the that right side. And we're getting the left side just about up with the other side. And you see these cuspid bands, we just cut it off of there. We polished them up, looks like, and probably re-cemented them or something. And we're lining this up. Now see this little cuspid image right there, this tooth is thicker than this tooth. And we want to have this lined up with that, and have the cusp lined up in here as we go through the case. Now, this side over here is opened up a good bit, and here we are with this still working on this left side of the mouth right there. And I want to speed this up. I don't want to take too much time. I've already spent about 25 minutes, but it kind of goes away. I don't hardly realize the time's passing. But anyway, we level this thing out, and we close the space, and we've got some little tiny laterals up above, so we have a little problem in closing this. Now this is a piece of wire that we twist in here to close this. And this was where that gap was, and we run that wire off of our lingual button and come through here and tie it, and we twist that down with an explorer, and man, it puts pressure on that and it closes this gap up. And this is closed and in good shape there now. Alright, now put these little Kobayashi hooks on there, and we'll come. I kind of jumped way ahead. That thing, this little marker I've got also can move the slides. The center line is off a little, but we've finished her up now. Now she's got some fluoride discoloration. The people in West Texas and around areas here, they get a lot of fluoride in their teeth, and they don't have much problem with decay, but sometimes they'll get some discoloration that's down in the teeth. And so these teeth show that fluoridation. But anyway, they're lined up, and you've got a good arch form now, and we'll show you. This is a filling, and it makes it look like a gap in the tooth, but this whole side of this tooth is a filling. I'm going to have to go over here and get our little pen going again, and that'll help us. Okay, now we've got the upper pretty well. Everything's just about finished. And we make a retainer that goes in there. And this is 1976, and we've got a little space open here. Whether we get that closed, I don't know, like And this was 1987. This is open slightly, but not bad. That's after we finished. And here, let me go back and I think marked on that. You can see where she's really wearing this retainer. Where it's standing, we've opened a little bit of space up there because these laterals are too doggone small, and sometimes we would come in and crown these teeth when they're that small. Here we leave a little space, and both of these laterals are a little bit small right there. So we've got a gap. And on the bottom, it's the same thing. We've got those molars still in bands, and we're going to have to close that space up. Okay, here, let me erase that. Now here is the finished pictures on this young lady, and we're going to put one of her. This is her original smile, and she didn't smile much with her teeth like that. She looked pretty sad and downhearted, It kept her from looking as good as she could. And now, look at the way she looks after we get through. And she's got a straight facial profile, and this is her smile. Shows a little bit of gum tissue, but not bad. There's a lot of difference in this lady here and the one that you saw back there. We appreciate you looking at this video, and I hope you will be able to do this for many, many people. There are a lot of people with some pretty bad orthodontic problems, and the palatal separator frequently is one of the best tools you can use on it. And so I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope to goodness you'll get on our list and become some of our watchers, the people that watch our deal all the time. So I thank you for watching, and we'll say goodbye here, and I'll close this out.